who's joining us. We are very pleased to have her join the Open Doorway. She is actually a member of the Open Doorway spiritual community. She's a part of the Open Doorway family. Her son, and her husband, who we miss dearly, but we know they are. I'm sure, yeah, that they're there, and I'm sure Nico is just waiting to get back into joining us at services in person.
Oh yes.
So, yes, we're very fortunate to have Reverend Rosa Martinez with us. She's a dear friend to our community. We actually were ordained together. So,
thank you, Terence. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So we will begin with the invocation. If everybody want to just close their eyes for a moment and just kind of be relaxed, start kind of embracing that silence of whatever room you're in. And it's okay if there's like a hum of a fan or maybe a little white noise around, but that's okay. Those vibrations will help relax you. And we will begin our service with the invocation. Divine Parent, open our minds and our body to receive your wisdom and healing. Bestow upon us your infinite strength to carry ourselves in times of struggle, and let us learn from them so that our understanding can be formed into positive action and divine love. Amen.
Amen.
And we'll move on to our spiritualist principles. And I will read them off and I will go slow just so that everybody, if they so choose, can read along with me.
Good.
I suggest that everybody, my personal feeling is that everybody should, just because it just increases the vibrations. Ari, do you mind muting just all the mics? That way then there isn't any other noise kicking around. All right, we subscribe to the following principles. Infinite intelligence, the deity, the designing and creating energy for everything in the universe. One universe, many dimensions. From one source came all that is present in our world, our galaxy, and beyond. The immortal soul. The soul is eternal. We seek truth within ourselves, from other souls, from sacred writings, and from the natural order that sustains us. Communication between the material and the non-material world. Spirit transcends all dimensions. All souls, flesh, and spirit communicate with each other. Personal responsibility. Cause produces effect through thoughts, words, and deeds. We create ourselves and our circumstances, and we are singly responsible for our choices and creations. The golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is our highest morality. Thank you. Those don't ever get old for me. They never get old. And those are inspired adaptations of the spiritualist principles that were given at the Church of the Wildwood in Templeton, Massachusetts. And then Paul took those, altered them a little bit so they make a little bit more sense. And this is what we ended up with. So, and then we will move into our healing meditation and prayer, which Reverend Rosa will take over for us, for me.
Thank you, Terence. Let's begin our meditation. Let us take a deep breath and relax. Feet flat on the floor, our hands resting on our lap. Another deep breath. And as we breathe out, relax your shoulders and gently close your eyes. Let's draw our attention to the center of our chest, our heart center, and visualize a little ball of white light. We all have it. It is a part of the divine that we all carry within us, and we can call it anytime we need it. So let us call it now, and as we do so, we see a sparkle in the middle of the chest, vibrating, growing bigger and bigger with every in-breath. As we focus our attention on it, it starts to expand. It gets clearer and brighter, growing as we breathe in, feeding from the love around us as we take it in with every breath. Let us take a deep breath and feel this healing light expand, taking over our whole torso, filling every cell, every fiber, every organ with its healing warmth. Feel its warmth and soothing energy, restoring everything it touches, repairing, soothing, bringing the life force energy to every little corner. In our next in-breath, let it flow downwards through our thighs, filling up our knees, down to our calves. Feel your leg muscles relaxing as this white light passes through, down to our feet and toes. And as it comes out the sole of our feet, it connects us to the ground. It grows like the roots of a tree, deeper and deeper into the ground, reaching the center of the earth and holding on to it. Feeding from the energy of our Mother Earth, grounding us. Feel her warmth and nurturing energy joining our white light and slowly coming back up through our legs, back to our heart center. In our next in-breath, allow this powerful healing light to move up to our neck and shoulders, melting, dissolving any tension we may have accumulated during the day and the week. Down to our arms, our hands, our fingers, Feel the tingling in the tips of your fingers, up through the neck to our face. Feel it in the little muscles around your eyes, the base of our skull. Healing white light, restoring strength and flexibility to all the tissues. And finally, reaching our crown chakra, opening it and connecting us to the source. Feel the life force energy and the nurturing energy of the earth flowing freely through our body, gently melting any resistance it may find along the way. Just surrender. Now feel this light expanding beyond our physical body. 1 inch, 2 inches, creating a beautiful field of bright white light around us. Know that this light will accompany us for the rest of the day, healing, recharging, and protecting us. Just take a few moments to feel this vibration of this light within our body and expanding out. We have created so much light from that initial little spark that we can now share it. So let us take a moment to think about our friends, our relatives, our loved ones here or in spirit that we would like to send this healing energy to. Feel free to say their names out loud now to focus our intention. Feel your heart center opening a little window to the outside world. And even though this is a very small window, our light is so strong that it pours out, easily reaching them, healing their bodies and souls, comforting them, guiding them, loving them. Let us spend a few moments enjoying this beautiful connection. Pure love flowing freely through us and out to the world. It is now time to slowly bring our attention back to the room. Feel the floor under your feet, the room around you, the outside noises slowly coming back. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. And it is time now to read. Here we go. So please, even though you're muted, please feel free to read along with me and join me for the prayer for spiritual healing. We ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from our minds and bodies and to restore us to perfect health. We ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and we will do our part. We ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. We put our trust in the love and power of Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Rosa, for a beautiful meditation and leading us through the healing prayer. I feel completely relaxed. If I wasn't relaxed before, I'm relaxed now. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's the healing vibration that you have so much of in your voice, and I think everybody can agree with that. And now for the offering portion of our service. Those who haven't joined us in the months previous, since we've been doing this virtually, open doorway. Financially we're okay. We are set. We don't have a whole lot of expenditures at this moment. So during this time, we felt that we should take this opportunity to feature causes, charities, nonprofit organizations that we feel deserve our attention, and not only our attention, but find some help financially. And so for today, for this month's service, we chose the bailproject.org as the charity. So any money that you thought you wanted to donate to the open doorway, would ask you to direct all that donation to the Bail Project for this service. And what they do is they often the justice system and particularly how the court system deems what bail is set. That system often favors those that are much wealthier, and a lot of minority groups and low-income families are often not able to pay for the bail that is set, and a lot of it goes into a whole nother topic where even a lot of these people who are arrested are arrested for minor crimes, and the bail is not proportionate to the crime that is committed, and a lot of people are stuck in the system and not able to pay for it. So the Bail Project not only looks into these cases and helps these low-income minority people who can't afford the bail that is set, but also talks about how we can disband the bail system as it is right now, and come up with a better strategy for how our criminal justice system is organized. So I think this is a wonderful cause. Obviously, we've given the link, and you can look up more. And we have even a little chart that Ari made here, where it tells how it is a revolving bail fund. So your money is, it tells you how your donation is being used, and how what they are doing to help the situation. So I think that's a really cute little graphic there that our stage crew has put up for us. But yes, please, any money that you might have had hoped to give to the Open Doorway, we really want you to give your efforts and your energies to the Bail Project.org, and I already put in the chat box the link to this charity organization. Thank you for listening to my spiel, my offering, and then we're going to go back to Reverend Rosa with the lecture. Reverend Rosa is a spiritualist minister, and she's a chaplain. Would that be the word to call you? You're going a spiritual advisor, so to speak.
Calvary is I'm a chaplain, intern chaplain.
Okay. Chaplain intern at Calvary Hospital. That's where actually Reverend Paul Baudet, our founding pastor, he passed away in Calvary Hospital. So he most definitely has been there right by Rosa every step of the way, I'm sure. And his energy and his love is very much around there, as well as Rosa's. And she's just a wonderful friend and an amazing light worker. And we're so blessed to have her here to give us her wisdom for today.
Thank you, Terence. I definitely asked Paul for help many times these past few months, and he has listened. So yes, I thank him for that. Okay. So I would like to talk today about something that I'm fascinated by, which is our purpose in life and how all souls are interconnected in cooperation to help each other fulfill their mission in this lifetime. And in order to explain this, I would like to talk first about two very important things that happen in spirit between incarnations. And as Joanne Mercier, she's a PSYCH-K facilitator and a great spiritual teacher, she puts it beautifully in words. And the way she explains it is just so beautiful. The first very important thing that happens when we're in spirit in between lives is the life review. In the life review, we shed the physical body, and we also begin to shed certain aspects as negativity or pain that we were holding on to. This healing is part of the wider process of embracing everything that we have learned and integrating all our experiences into the fabric of our soul. During this review process, we have the opportunity to reach a much greater understanding of our role, as well as other people's role in the events of the lifetime that we just left behind. This is very interesting because when I had my Akashic records read years ago by Joanne, they revealed to me that my main job in spirit was as a life review counselor. And as such, I help souls to evaluate these lessons while holding a secret space for the soul undergoing this life review. This means that I did not advise or purposely led the soul towards a specific conclusion. Instead, my job was to simply help those souls receive their learning from the life that they had just lived. So, how interesting and amazing this was for me to hear this and to later realize that as a hospice chaplain, which has been my calling in life for so long, as many of you know, this is exactly what I'm required to do with my terminal patients. In clinical pastoral education, which is what I've been doing this winter, this is what we learn, to just be the comforting presence that creates the space for the patients to make sense of their situation, their life choices, their fears, their regrets, to try and find meaning and be able to transition peacefully. And it is very interesting that I am called to do the same thing from both sides of the veil. So maybe just lessening the workload for my colleagues on the other side. Who knows? That's probably what it is. They sent me here for that. So that is number one. And number two, the other very important thing that we go through in spirit in between incarnations is to prepare our next life. And as we prepare to reincarnate, we select the life lessons that we wish to learn. And we choose our parents and family that will best facilitate the learning of those lessons. We plan important events, usually major life events, which will help us to grow in some way. So that could be like becoming a parent, falling in love, or experiencing some kind of trauma, like an accident, natural disaster, the loss of a loved one. The primary lesson is like a PhD that we pursue. It is really the theme that underpins the life experiences we have. So we attract, choose, and create situations that help us to learn that primary life lesson. And this is usually done unconsciously. It tends to take two, 3 lifetimes to complete a primary life lesson through both positive and negative experiences. And it is done most of the times unconsciously, because if we really understood what we're here to learn, we wouldn't be learning it. And that is the tricky part, isn't it? So that being said, now that I explained those two very important things we go through in spirit, I would like to go one step further. Are you ready? While we're doing all this planning, we are not doing it alone. There is a cooperative relationship between souls in spirit, like I said before. So we make contracts with other souls to help each other fulfill our mission. And this is something that I've had the privilege to see clearly during my readings and lectures I have attended, and synchronicities that I have experienced when my eyes were open enough to see. So we come to agreements with these souls, which I like to call soulmates, because that's why we make these agreements through many different lifetimes, changing the roles, feeding each other, helping each other. And we come to agreements with these souls about how we're going to help each other during the different phases of our development. So once incarnated, these will take different forms. Sometimes they're just brief encounters. How many times a stranger has said something to us or smiled at us when we needed it the most, and this has completely changed the way we were feeling or acting? And then you get that feeling of, wow, that person right there was an angel straight from heaven. I'm sure we have all experienced that at some point, many times. And sometimes they're longer relationships that eventually come to an end when the work is done and it is time to move on and leave room for the next lesson. Maybe the next soul that will teach us, help us learn that lesson. Sometimes that person will never come back in our present life, and there will be a reason for that. Sometimes that person will reappear in our lives years or even decades later. Even that random angel on the street that we never saw again, when it is time to lean on each other again or return the favor, may come back to our lives. No encounter, event, or relationship is random, and each and every one of them is of great significance to human existence. Although most of the times we cannot see it at the moment. And we may not see it until we go through our own life review. Then we will clearly see the big picture, and then we will realize how perfect the universe really was. But sometimes we are lucky enough that we can learn to see these signs and synchronicities. And sometimes we can recognize each other for a brief moment, and maybe even recognize and see our contract with them, even if it's been lifetimes since we last spoke. And this can take different forms. And when we hear soulmates, we all have this image of a soulmate, like the movies, right? Like this lover and companion. And this is not the reality. Your soulmate, you don't learn everything through love. We learn a lot through pain. And we learn a lot from disappointment and regret. And someone very wise told me once, nobody grows from a place of comfort. So I would like to end this with an example, personal example, to illustrate a different idea of what a soulmate can be. And this is a very simple example because the world already feels heavy enough right now to bring in heavy feelings to this service. But I'm sure that you will be able to relate this to much more serious events in your life at your own pace. So recently, someone I consider a sister from another life, a true soulmate, hurt me very deeply. And it was all caused by a misunderstanding on both parts. But even though I could eventually see it, she wouldn't give me the chance to show it to her. And she acted cruel and hurtful and never even allowed me to speak to fix it. And it was so difficult. And I asked Spirit, but why? I mean, why can't I speak? Why can't she listen to me? Why won't she even give me the chance? Why would she cut me off her life like this, just from a misunderstanding after all these years? So I kept asking, why deny me the chance to clear the situation and be understood and loved again? For the first time in my life, I was deprived of showing my version of the story, and it hurt so much. There was absolutely nothing I could do about it. That's it. Spirit said, you're not speaking your truth this time, and that's how it is. So I had no option. Well, I had an option to just kick and scream and cry and suffer, but I don't do that anymore. I try not to do that anymore. So what I did instead was I just did something I had never done before in such a stressful situation, which was to reflect on it and to not take it personal, even though it felt very personal. And I thought that maybe our relationship in this lifetime had come to an end, that maybe somehow the relationship had fulfilled its purpose and it was time for it to end. So I looked for the lesson and I asked myself, okay, why does it hurt so much? And what do I have to do to overcome this pain? And then I saw that she was actually giving me the opportunity right there to learn that sometimes you need to let go of the need to be understood and loved. You need to stop being a people pleaser in order to find your inner peace in relation to your environment. You cannot rely on other people to find that peace. I also learned that when someone is committed to misunderstanding you, you don't have to use all your energy to justify yourself. That it is okay to accept it and move on. That at that point, your journeys take separate roads. So I made the determination to let the pain and anxiety just take its course, to allow it to fade away slowly as the days passed. And it was difficult. It is a type of grief at the end of the day, and the anxiety and the shakiness, it is very real. But you know that it cannot last forever, and deep down we know that, so I trusted it. And I trusted that reliving the conversation obsessively over and over again in my head would just slowly get better and better every day. To be patient and trust that this too shall pass, even though it gives you a lot of tummy aches. So I did my best to stay grounded and present for my family, which at the end of the day is my priority. Spirit made it very clear that this time I had to get out of my comfort zone and do something that was very different to what I was used to doing and it was painful, and it was a roller coaster of pain and emotions, physical, emotional, spiritual, all together. But then it did pass. Took a few days or weeks, but it did pass. It got better, a little better every day. And then I realized what a great life lesson it was. What a great new tool I had in my belt now that I didn't have before. So I thank Spirit for it. And I thank her for it. Not directly, but I thank her higher self for what she did. And I know now that I was right all this time, that she was indeed a soulmate, like I thought she was. And I realized that she was a soulmate and we had a contract. And we were both brave enough to fulfill it, even though it looked and felt really ugly. So I'm going to ask you this, and it is next time that someone hurts you, just entertain this thought for a moment, and imagine that it is not what it looks like, that this is the sacrifice that this person is doing so that you can learn something very important. So look for that lesson. There is always a lesson, and you will find it. And once you find it and you do the work, just look up and wink at the universe and the higher self of that person and just whisper thank you. Because thanks to this, you will not have to come back for this lesson ever again. You may not have to come back for this one ever again. And that is a big deal. You will come back for other lessons. Oh, yeah, you will, but not this one. And you can also apply this in retrospect because we have all gone through something like this and much worse in our life. And it is never too late to bring it back and find the learning and the soulmate that made it possible. So that is what I've been wanting to say for a long time. And I thank you all for giving me the opportunity.
That was beautiful, Rosa. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that experience with us. It most definitely put a lot of that into perspective, because you talk about these concepts with others, and even spiritual ministers too, and you are talking in such a about things that are intangible, things that are just not always perceived or always seen or sensed, and not always at the same time. But that applying it to a real situation where I can fully grasp it and understand the concept that would be otherwise difficult. Thank you for sharing that. was most definitely an eye-opener for me. So
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad it helped.
I was very excited for your lecture, and it lived up to those expectations, Rosa.
Good. Thank you. I'm glad it did.
Um, Now we are ready for some announcements, and then after our announcements, we'll close the service with the benediction. Um, just to let everybody know that some of future events, calendar events for the open doorway to come. We every every 2 weeks we do a circle, um, a message circle. If you've attended a seance or a message circle before, this is what pretty much we do. We partner with Awakening, which I'm in their new location right now in Port Jarvis. Um, these are virtual message circles. Um, so you would just need to sign up through the Awakening website, awakeningny.com, for like /workshops, and you can find it under Spiritual Message Circle. We have one August 7th and August 21st this month, and they both are at 7:30 p.m. Those are Friday nights, 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Only 12 spots available, and it's a $20 admission fee. I would have to, those maybe who have attended, um, you know, they would probably agree with me. The energy is extremely potent, and it's incredibly healing. Really amazing evidential mediumship and psychic messages that come through during those spiritual message circles. So we don't have to be in the same room together to have a very powerful circle. So if you're interested in that, go to awakeningny.com /workshops. Then we have our next service for the Open Doorway virtual service, and that will be August 22nd. That is a Saturday, and Reverend Alex Murray will be our guest minister for that service, and it will be at 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. So if you wanted to just sign up for our newsletter, or follow us on Instagram or Facebook, there will be an update on the link for that service, Google Meet, to come out when it's closer to the 22nd of August. With that said, that's all the announcements I have. A few just dates to keep in mind of just what's going on with the Open Doorway. And with that, we will close our service with benediction. So I'll have everybody just close their eyes for a moment and just kind of just warmly think about all that we experience in just a short amount of time, just an hour. The healing energy, the prayer, the feeling as one as a community, friendship, wisdom. Just let that sink in, all those feelings. Divine Parent, thank you for blessing us for the many gifts that we experienced today for our service. The healing that has been given to us, the relaxation that has been bestowed upon us, and the wisdom of words and experiences that were given to us by Reverend Rosa. Thank you for all of those immeasurable gifts. And let us take those experiences of learning, love, and healing, and bring it out and into the world to others, as we are all light workers in your service of infinite light. Amen. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. You can open your eyes when you feel comfortable to. And before everybody goes and leaves us, I do want to show everybody the new awakening. So I'm going to carry you all out into the main area, and you get to see the new awakening. And here's Mariola here.
Hi guys! Welcome to Awakening. Today is our grand opening, and we had a really nice turnout, and the parents is here, so everybody gets together. So we are happy to have you here virtually. So maybe one day you're going to come in person. So just see you around and feel our vibrations.
They're located. The new Awakening shop is located at 85 Pike Street in Port Jarvis, and look at just all the cool stuff that they have. Mariola is efficient with space. You guys can hear okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at all the cool stuff. Here's the storefront too.
Beautiful.
Yeah, look at all that light, right?
Much better than in Brooklyn.
Yeah, because it would get pretty dark in places.
Yeah,
But
it was very narrow too. Like the shop was very narrow.
yeah, all the beautiful crystals and jewelry, and of course there's psychic mediumship readings that I'm doing with Awakening, and Mariola does her healing as well. So there are most definitely other services that they provide other than these beautiful jewelries. And, so if you're ever in the Port Jarvis area, come check out Awakening. Here, I can even show you the little address here.
Yeah, we have grand opening thing.
Oh.
Maybe it's going to be easier on this one.
There we go. Ba-boom.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Da-doom. So cool, right?
Yeah, they did a great
I feel
job.
like I'm like on the Magic school bus. You guys all took a field trip with me. I don't know if
Sort
anything.
of, but very nice trip.
Maybe that's not that. I'm maybe too young for Magic School Bus. I don't know if anybody knows that reference, but anyways, thank you all really for joining us today. It was a beautiful service. Thank you, Reverend Rosa Martinez, for joining us and having her spread her light. You guys can unmute your mics and chime in if you want to say toodaloo. I know I'm shortly going to be signing off so that I can enjoy the Port Jarvis area because it's gorgeous up here. Yeah, if you want to say, you can just unmute your mic if you want and say hello or goodbye or make a comment. I know Janet has something to say.
You are on mute, Janet.
You're on mute, Janet.
If you go to the bottom. Try one more time.
Thank you for joining us, Patricia. I hope you enjoyed the service.
Yes, very much. Thank you so much. Please enjoy your day.
Yes. I love that painting behind you, or that drawing.
Thank you. It's a copy, but it was something I gave my mother many years ago, and now it's mine.
Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous. It's very spiritual. I felt that.
Yeah, it has a lot of meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for noticing.
You're very welcome. There may be a message to come later down the line from that.
I think you might be right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thanks again.
Not a problem.
Signing off.
Thank you, Pat. Take care.
Sure.
Bye.
Hi.
Janet,
And it was
you're
a
you're still
beautiful
muted.
talk, Rosa. Thank you.
Thank you. Janet is still muted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Janet, you know, whenever you speak, we can't hear you.
So Janet, try to scroll in the bottom one more time and see if you
Yes,
can see the mic.
So you put your
And the
mouse,
mic one more time.
the little arrow on the screen. It's if you drag it to the bottom, you should be. There you
it
go.
worked.
You got
Finally. That is because it's not on the little box. I thought it was the one that's in the corner of the little box.
Okay. You may have a
But it's
different
not
little
that
setup
one.
there, Janet.
Oh, anyway, Rosa, it was wonderful.
Thank you, Janet.
I knew it was going to be. I really wanted to hear it. And it was. You didn't disappoint me. It was lovely.
Thank you, Janet.
I find it hard for Rosa to disappoint, but that she might have other thoughts or opinions on that.
Yeah, I'm sure that she can't really. She'll have to take lessons in disappointing people because she doesn't know how to do it.
Well, thanks
It
for
was
joining,
good.
everybody. I love to see everybody's beautiful faces and energy. I must go and be off in nature and hang out with my hosts for the evening.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Cool.
It was lovely. Enjoy.
Many blessings to
Have
everybody.
fun. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.